But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all was his heart was 2 sizes.
Whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes.
He stood down Christmas Eve, hating the Whos. He stared down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town.
But he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. Hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his rich fingers, nervously drumming. I must find somewhere to stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise. Oh the noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast and they'd feast and they'd feast.
They'd feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand at the least.
And then they'd do something like least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas girls ringing. They'd stand hand in hand and the Whos would start singing.
They'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing.
Why, for 53 years I've put up with it. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clapped.
What a great Grinchy trick. With this hat and this coat, I'm just for its sake, Nick.
All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeers are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
So he called his dog Max, then took some red thread, tied some collars on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old new sacks on a ramshackle sleigh and hitched up old Max.
The Grinch said, "Get out," and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Whos lay a snooze in their town. All the windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were dreaming and sleeping
When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy plot hissed. And he climbed on the roof, empty bags in his fist, and he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, so could the Grinch.
He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out and the fireplace glowed, where the little Who stockings were hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Got guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's tea. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef.
He cleaned out the icebox quick as a flash, while the Grinch even took their last can of Who hash.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he
Heard a small sound like the coo of a dove.
He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this
Little Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
but you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he
Thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot,
evoked Santa Claus lied.
there's light in this tree. That's no light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it there. Then I'll bring it back here.
The fifth was returned, and then he patted her head. He got her a drink and sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her hat, he went back to the chimney and stuck the tree up. And the last thing he took was his log for the fire. He stuffed it up the chimney, then himself the on fire. From there once he left nothing but hooks and some wire.
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other two houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the little whose mouses.
Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings and chocolates.
3,000 feet up at the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his loads and tipped up to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the who's, he was Grinch is becoming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming.
They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. That's the noise
Grinned the Grinch.
that I simply must hear.
So he paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear.
And he did turn sand rolling over the snow. It started in low and it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why? The sound sounded merry. Very. He stared down at Hoogle as the Grinch popped his eyes. He shook, and what he saw was shocking surprise. For the Who's down in Hoogle, the tall and the small, were singing with no presents at all.
He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or another, it just came the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood
Puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it
Came without packages, boxes or bags, and he thought 3 hours till his puzzler was sore.
and the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. Well, and what happened then? Well,
In Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Oh, yay! And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food
For the feast, and he himself, the Grinch carved the roast